So the whore of Babylon, like the ancient city of Babylon, the whore is an enemy of God's chosen people of the United States, where many of the tribes of Israel came. And we've talked about that quite a bit. A lot of people have talked about that. Also, like the city, she is described as sexually deviant, very much like Barack Obama, having a man dressed up as a woman as his wife and having two children that have been donated to them from a Democrat source family, so that they could get away with fooling the American people, I guess, so that they have a better chance of being elected. And that's, Joan Rivers described that for us very, very well. And a few days later, she was killed. Now, during poor Babylon's time, we took out Osama bin Laden. I was there, helped take that, push that. There were many of us for a long time, many of you included, that wanted Osama bin Laden found guilty and taken out. Well, what happened is the people of Pakistan, where we knew Osama bin Laden was were attacked very heavily. Before that, they loved Osama bin Laden. They thought he was a hero. And after they started getting attacked and their cities were in ruin, everyone was, in fear of more terrorist attacks. More terrorist attacks happened in Pakistan in 1 year than it happened throughout the entire world. So they got wind that Osama bin Laden and his crew were involved in that, and his approval rating went down to 20% from 80. So we're going to see the same thing with Barack Obama as more and more things are being exposed. Some people will, till their graves, doesn't matter how much information you give them, they're still going to like the guy, and that's to be expected because there's indeed an incredible amount of MK Ultra that's going on in this country and the world. So there will be misdirection, as we've seen. The Obama team are going to refute that. And who knows, maybe they'll even try and do another impeachment of Trump from Democrat side. Who knows? They have to be a majority. They don't have that yet. But of course, if they somehow get that majority, which we've seen that pretty much all of Congress and the Senate members, or most of them, are compromised. So we're going to see the possibility of massive pushback. They're doing that with Jeffrey Epstein. And they're letting people run with that ball. And they're letting the Democrats run with that ball. That Trump was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. He was at his wedding. They were buds for 15 years, on and on and on. Much of it, if not all of it, lies. Occasionally, something is truthful within a larger scheme of lies and deceit. The Democrats are exceptionally well at spreading lies and deceit through their mainstream media arm. Now, Tulsi Gabbard came out today and basically outlined the situation. While she was doing that, CNN took her off the air. So the mainstream media is part of the whore of Babylon, right? And that whole system will be brought down, just like Cyrus the Great brought down Babylon. Many people have referred to Trump as the current day Cyrus the Great. All right, so you guys might remember from your biblical history, or maybe you just heard it, that thing called writing on the wall. That was Daniel. Daniel was taken into captivity when Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the temple of Israel and put many of the Jews into slavery in Babylon. So Daniel was there, and he was a prophet. So they would, come to him occasionally and ask for his insights. So after a battle with the Syrians, not the Syrians, but the Persians and the Medes, through Cyrus the Great, they weren't able to breach the walls, so they were celebrating. They thought they had defeated them. They were going to go away. And so the grandson, I guess, of Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, was having a feast. And then there was a hand that appeared that started writing on the wall. And it foretold the end of the kingdom of Babylon. And that's what we're seeing right now. we're seeing the writing on the wall for all of these people that have involved with Babylon. And of course, Barack Obama being one of their lead guys. So that night, the river, Euphrates River, was Euphrates Tigris, whatever it was. It was known by Babylon. I can't remember. I've been there. But it was diverted by Cyrus the Great. They were able to get under the gate. There was like metal fencing that went across the river, and they were able to go underneath that gate, come into the city, and they destroyed Babylon. So the horrors of Babylon, the evil, was destroyed. And Cyrus the Great allowed the Jews to go back to their homeland and helped them rebuild the temple. How about that? So are we there again with President Donald Trump? I believe we are. And this evil that we've been talking about for a long time, it is being exposed. The more it gets exposed, the more people turn against it, just like the people of Pakistan against Osama bin Laden. And then, of course, we know the history of that. I was involved in helping to find Osama bin Laden in Pakistan, and my old team, SEAL Team 6, Red Squadron, came in and took him out. Now, a lot of you are like, well, that's where, why don't we just go do this now? There's a timing thing. So the timing thing and knowing who is a threat and who is not is very important, because after that raid on Osama bin Laden, it was very successful. I remember being in Pakistan during that time frame and in a position where my group could have helped in an escape route in case those guys of SEAL Team 6, got stranded. So fortunately, they were able to go back with Osama bin Laden's body. Whoever that was shot, I saw the picture of him within less than an hour. There was a bullet that went through his ocular cavity and blew up his brainstem. So there was no more trigger action. We're taught that way. So I saw that very, very soon after it happened. And it looks like Hillary Clinton and all those guys did as well. Now, were they pissed about that? Just like they were pissed about not winning the election against Trump? I think so. And so then they had what's called a payback for SEAL Team 6, I believe, where there was an Extortion 17 helicopter that was flying in Afghanistan, not like any mission that SEAL Team 6 would fly. Those guys were rushed out into the battlefield. Well, normally Tier 1 assets have very good support, firepower support, and so forth. They were shot down, and unfortunately, that helicopter rolled many times, burned, and then it landed down into where a stream bed was, and it rained after that and flooded that whole helicopter where all those guys had been burned. So it is something that the deep state has a signature on, I believe. And under Barack Obama, I believe that's going to come to light at some point. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Maybe in the future it will. Maybe it's not. It's a nothing burger. I don't know. So it is. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that happening. Now I can tell you that a lot of people that support Barack Obama, he basically did a lot of evil things, and he was part of coming into or having people come into positions that stopped good things from happening. And I think that's what was going on with the length of time that it took to find Osama bin Laden, because it was very obvious that everybody knew where he was. It was in Pakistan, right? And we were just like, well, where is he? Where is he? And then finally, there was enough of us that really focused on it. And I think they got to the point where we can't avoid this. And, the populace was against them. And so they went in and they were forced to go in and take him. Now, Trump is not in that position. He is not forced to take Osama bin Laden, Barack Obama, because it's the nature of things. It is God's will. It is going to happen. So as we move forward and we start to see these things go down, we're going to see people get crazy, right? We didn't see people get crazy in Pakistan when Osama bin Laden was taken out, because they didn't like him anymore. But there's still a lot of people that still believe in Barack Obama. There's going to be a heavy campaign against him, but there's also going to be a counter heavy campaign against Trump, as we're seeing right now with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump is, he was groomed. He was basically prepared for all of this. Look how much they have come after Trump and tried to take him down. He was groomed. He's like the most closest to perfection. Of course, no one's perfect. And, our dear President Trump is not perfect in probably a few different ways, but he's as close as they come. And they prepared him. They made sure that he didn't have dirt on him that would normally get someone taken out, because they've been inside and out President Trump for years now, and they haven't really nothing would stick. Nothing would stick, right? And some of the things that they kind of sort of made stick are probably going to get resolved and overturned at some point. So that is where we're at now. Barack Obama and the other whores of Babylon are going to suffer. They will suffer treason charges. They have committed treason, and a very, very extreme level of treason. So they will be executed. There's no question about this. It will be military tribunals. It will not be in a court system, because the court system will drag on. They have all of the people they have appointed over the years to protect them are not going to have that option. They're going to go to a court. They're going to be found guilty, very obviously, within a day, less than a day probably, and then they're going to hang, right? So that's what we're going to see with a lot of these people. Now, like I said, there be an eruption from the crazy side, right? The people that have been MK Ultra NPCs and so forth that are still clinging to the belief that Barack Obama and his team are still good people, and they should not be pressured by Orange Man Bad. Right, derangement syndrome people. There's nothing we can do for them because they have been extremely, compromised consciously. So all we can do is just continue to, pray for them and hope they wake up. And we know that some of them won't, and some of them may be pushed to violence. I believe there are towns, cities, big cities, as I've been warning for a long time. Get out of the big cities. Some of these cities are harboring still, even though ICE has been hard at it to get these people removed from the United States. There are teams of terrorist leaders, people that are in different positions, probably former ISIS, probably former Antifa, or still Antifa, whatever, that will be involved in a lot of this stuff. And then probably some poor crazed Democrat that's gone off the deep end that believes that they're going to be involved in a counter to what Trump is trying to do and save America, save the world. So we will see the big cities, I think, erupt to a certain extent. Those people that have supported this side of consciousness, the whores of Babylon, will probably be destroyed. They are useful cannon fodder. All right, so they will probably send the people that have been trained to do extreme violence for many, many years in other countries, the Middle East, Ukraine, and so forth. They will come in and they will destroy people in those cities, all right, on an unbelievable level, because these people, like I said, do not have the consciousness or the connection to God's source to get out of the way that most of us do. So they will be slaughtered, I believe, in the big cities on a massive scale. And that will probably, have some response from the Trump administration, and people will reject that and they will push back on that. And so more people will be slaughtered in those cities, and it will be quite the killing zone, I believe, and it's coming. All right. So, but in the meantime, we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun, at least bringing at least some of this to people that are willing to awaken. And there have been, I've seen from many of you that are in the show, some of the biggest viewership actually comes from Chicago and New York and LA and so forth. So we know there are good people that are awakened. And I think everyone is a good person until proven otherwise. And then there's probably some outright evil people like Osama bin Laden and his Babylonian horde. All right. So we will see them be eliminated from the face of the earth. All right, they will never be able to come back again because they would only do the same thing if they were given the opportunity. They would start to create the same thing. So for thousands of years going into the future, in this time period that we're going through, when we destroy this Babylonian horde and their minions, they will be remembered for thousands of years for what they have done, so that it will not happen again. Right? It's monumental. We are all lucky to be involved and be a part of this right now. It is magnificent. But yeah, there'd be very possibly some problems, right? So whether these problems evolve on the level that I think they will, or whether they get resolved on a lower level, remains to be seen. But in the meantime, we're just going to laugh and have fun.
Actually, the president is above the law.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
So no one is above the law. So if someone believes they're above the law, what might happen? Like they've been trying to say for Trump for a long time. You think you're above the law, but you're going to, they've been coming after him.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Let's put on the bench.
All right, so Barack Obama and his little Babylonian whores have been referred to the Department of Justice. FBI comes in, arrests Obama wherever he might be. The Obama lookalike, the clone, whatever might be out there. Just like Osama bin Laden, whether that was really Osama bin Laden or not, whoever that was, if it really was the Osama bin Laden, when that bullet blew the side of his head off, there was no more. They could not play that game anymore. All right, so when this boy goes away, there will not be that game played anywhere else ever again, right? So that's what we're going to see. All right, so we know that President Trump played that song over and over again at virtually every one of his events. Now, what does that mean, that YMCA song? What is that? So let me show you an old photo of YMCA that used to exist in Gitmo, right? So this is a real thing, and this is why we heard that YMCA song. The YMCA Guantanamo Bay Club, right? So it was something that sailors, when they came into port, they could have a little recreation time at the YMCA. So Obama and his Babylonian whores will have a great time there for a period of time before they go bye, right? So that is the beautiful thing that we're laughing and having a good time about. While some people will be gnashing and pulling their hair out, gnashing their teeth and glowing and so forth, the Babylonian whore supporters, right? So that's where we're moving, guys. So I would, like I've been saying for quite some time, I would get out of the big cities, right? So we're getting closer and closer to that point. The warnings are becoming, I think, more real. You have to use your own intuition, right? God is on your side. God will protect you if you're involved, right? It's kind of like that story I always say about the flood that's coming, and the perfect person's on their house at the porch, and the sheriff comes like, "You got to leave. The flood coming." It's like, "No, I got to protect me." And so the flood comes, and they have to go from their first floor to their second floor, and then a boat comes with the lifeguards or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, you need to get in the boat. The flood's coming. It's going to get worse." It's like, "No, God will protect me." So the flood rises higher, and they're on the top of the house, and then a helicopter comes, and they lower a rope, and the guy's on the rope, and the rope's, "Come on, I'll get you out of here." It's like, "No, God will protect me." So they're like, "Okay." So they go up and they fly away, and then the floods come, and the guy goes in. He and his family drown. Right. So they go to heaven, and they're like, "God, what happened? I thought you were going to protect me always." And he says, "Well, I sent a sheriff, I sent lifeguards, and I sent the helicopter. What were you thinking about?" So that's where some of you, unfortunately, might find yourself in these big cities with a slaughter fest, I think, that's coming. So it's up to you. You trust your intuition. That's your connection to God. The pineal gland, and make sure your pineal glands don't use fluoride. Right? Keep fluoride out of your water. Don't use fluoridated toothpaste, and don't use under deodorant that has aluminum in it. All right. So there's many ways you can clean that. There are food supplements and so forth that will clean your pineal gland. Now we're looking at some serious action in the charts right now, as far as like XRP was down pretty significant today. Ethereum, Bitcoin a little bit, Doge, Shiba Inu, XLM, pretty much everything was down in the crypto world, but not so much Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, I believe, will be one of the ones that will go away eventually. XRP will probably be the one that goes forward. XLM and the digital currency that's coming for, it's not a stable coin, of course. It's a transactional tool. And for the coming, stable coins that probably will be created through other environments with 1-to-1 gold ratio and so forth, we'll have the Treasury, and we will no longer have the Fed, and we'll no longer have the IRS. So all of this stuff is going away. Do you think it's going to go away easily in the middle of the night? It could possibly, highly doubtful, because they have been like the Babylonian whores. Babylonian money magic has been part of our reality since 1913. So they have infiltrated quite deeply, but their days are already numbered. So we're going to see them go away as well. And maybe some of those guys will be arrested. I hope so, because we don't need them out there either, because they'll try and do their Babylonian money magic again, if they get half a shot at it. Who knows? Maybe our 2 generations down, if we don't put these guys away forever, their offspring will come around and do the same thing. I don't know. So that's why we have to continue to share this information, make sure people are of the, this is good against evil. So make sure that people understand where evil comes from and what evil does, and so that they will resist that in the future. All right. So one thing that we have been seeing, of course, with the Babylonian whores, the guy that was posing in his administration as Joe Biden pushed a vaccine that was very deadly. That vaccine has caused unbelievable harm to a lot of people. The insurance industry, in fact, is saying there are 5,000 vaccine-linked deaths a week now. So almost 1,000 people a day are dying from the COVID mRNA vaccines. All right, so that's what we're starting to discover. This is something I said before the vaccination came out. I said that this would hammer civilization. Don't get it. Of course, 80% of the United States and pretty much a great portion of the world. Some places more than others. Some places 90 to 100%. And those places got really hammered in the beginning, and then it kind of like died off. They killed the, all of the talk about that. People started to die from just, no cause of death reported. So we've had so many of those. I've been reporting on that for years now. Cause of death. It used to be from heart attack or from cancer or from, got hit by a vehicle or whatever it was. A lot of people that are dying from COVID now, they get no cause of death reported because they know if they report that it was a vaccine linked injury death, that a lot of people could be in trouble. So they have been, like a lot of things that mainstream media lies about, they have been lying very vociferously about that. And now it's starting to become more and more mainstream. So injuries themselves are also 10 to 15 times higher. 30 to 50-year-olds are dropping dead. That sudden death syndrome, that many of the, we used to see that with children, and that was probably from vaccinations. Child sudden death syndrome, SIDS. So now we're seeing SADS, sudden adult. So SIDS, sudden infant death. Now it's very prominent for adults to be dying very, very soon. So this is one of those things I occasionally I come back and push on this. People just don't want to hear because they know that it is a problem and they just don't want to face this.
There's one simple vision hack anyone can use to improve vision, so you can say goodbye to your optometrist for good. Did you know?
That's a good one.
Don't you know the pink salt?
Here's another good one.
You can get? Come with me and I'll teach you. This is the secret to melting.
So, our work has suggested that the vaccines cause death, disability, and injury, and we don't know the medium-term effects. We stopped doing research in this area at the beginning of this year because we get a lot for free, and, free doesn't pay the bills. But one of my friends on X, Ethical Skeptic, who is a very smart man, does consulting and knows how systems work, he says the current run rate of excess deaths from the vaccine are probably 3,000 to 5,000 a week in the U.S. So that's 200,000 individuals a year. The disabilities are 4x that, the injuries are 10 to 15x that.
And do you think the reason that individuals aren't coming forward and speaking out about their cases is just the cognitive dissonance that exists within them, the desire to believe that they did the right thing, perhaps the shame at falling for propaganda and then having such disastrous results? Why don't we see out in the open more vaccine injured or relatives of people who died coming forward, trying to let their voice be heard? I know there's some of them, but why do you think there's so few relative to the statistical injuries?
There's a lot of them, and they're being suppressed, and that continues. And so there's a lot already. There's a lot of converts that have figured out that this is garbage. But you're right. There seems to be this cognitive disconnect where people don't want to admit that they made a huge mistake and they don't.
So that will be what will happen probably for a lot of people if we start to see massive violence in cities. So cognitive disconnect. They know they made a bad choice. They didn't want to admit it. Many, maybe most, will have no idea of, what the situation is, why it's happening the way it's happening, when these start to erupt in cities. So it's the same thing with the COVID vaccination. A lot of people don't realize still that they were had, and they still want to believe. And then when all of these deaths happen, their children die, and someone mentions, do you think that could have been from COVID-19 vaccination? They don't want to go there. They don't want to go there because probably they were the reason why their child got vaccinated, and maybe even their child didn't want to get vaccinated. And you remember those people that were very mean in places where they were masking, and then those people, talk show hosts and so forth, that were mean about people that didn't get vaccinated, and then all of those political types that were mean to people that get vaccinated, saying that we were the reason why. If people died, we were the reason why. That's ridiculous. If you're vaccinated, you should be safe, right? But no, they were pushing the extreme stupidity that people that weren't vaccinated were the problem. Now we're seeing that you see a lot of those deaths. A lot of those deaths are from people that weren't vaccine injured, but are being injured by people that are shedding that have been vaccine injured, right? that is a major cause, I promise you, and that soon will probably come out on a major level. All right, so, let's listen to Tulsi Gabbard, because a lot of these people that, we can go back to 2020 and the election steal, and we can look at all of the people that have been vaccine injured and so forth because of that election steal. So we're looking at millions of people that have been killed from the vaccination, and that administration that illegally came into office is going to be found to have been part of that. Now, even going further back again, we're looking at the Russia collusion, where they tried to, hamper and take out President Trump, 2 impeachments during his administration, a constant hammering by legal action, investigations over and over again, the Russia collusion lie. So now we're seeing, all of this stuff be exposed, and we're going to see these people held accountable. It's absolute treason, and they're going to be arrested, and they're going to have a military tribunal, and they're going to go bye-bye.
That we released on Friday, multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th of 2016, the FBI and ODNI gave the House Intelligence Committee its first post-election classified briefing, in which there was no mention of Putin aspiring to elect Trump by either agency. The Presidential Daily Brief, drafted on December 8th of 2016, stated that no Russian or criminal actors impacted vote counts. This document was pulled just hours before it was to be published due to quote-unquote new guidance. If it had been published, it would have been briefed to both President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump. On December 9th, 2016, a National Security Council meeting was called to gather President Obama's senior national security officials, which included CIA Director Brennan, then Obama DNI James Clapper, Susan Rice, and others. Following that secret meeting, DNI Clapper's assistant sent an email to the intelligence community with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling, tasking ODNI leaders to create a new assessment per the president's request.
To create a lie, because it had already been found, and a lot of these people that were involved in that, whistleblowers, are coming forward. And they're saying they took our information and they twisted it on purpose. So that's treason, baby. And the reason it becomes something that goes to a military tribunal is because it reaches into another country. There's other countries that were involved in this. They tried to bring in Russia as a culprit. That was a lie. But once you start to bring in the involvement of other countries, whether real or imagined, whatever it might be, then you've taken it outside of the U.S., where you would have your trial, into the rest of the world, where that is the domain of the U.S. military. So the U.S. military will try these people, and the U.S. military will convict these people, and the U.S. military will execute these people, right? This will be the first time this has ever happened in the history of America, but it is going to happen. And there will possibly, let's pray not, but we can, pretty much guess from other actions that this is something that's going to happen, rioting and violence. And so that's what we're kind of like looking at right now. Now, here's a question that came forward that she was asked basically about Barack Obama, what's going to happen. And she's basically saying that she's referred it to for criminal prosecution by the DOJ.
That any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even
The evidence, correct. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact. Ed, go ahead.
That's a big bye-bye, right? So it's not something that we debate about. It's already proven. We've known about it. We've talked about it for 5 years now, longer than that, like 10 years now. So it's coming to a head, and as it does in this judicial realm, then there will be actions that are taken, and people that will suffer the consequences of their bad activity. Right. So, like I said, meanwhile, we can still have fun. Once in a lifetime private performance you don't want to miss with Sir Elton John and his band, in a private live performance at the 2025 LifeWave Conference, Saturday, October 25th, Anaheim, California. So if you're not a brand partner yet, now remember, I've had David Schmidt on, and we talked about how, like I just mentioned, the COVID vaccination and shedding and so forth can be overcome with LifeWave patches, and it's been proven, it's been shown. A lot of people have had that experience. So I would highly recommend that everybody in the world get on the COVID bandwagon as far as like LifeWave and say no, right? No shedding, no vaccine injury, and so forth. Now my friend Juan O'Savin said that if you like sausage, you don't want to see how sausage is made, right? So if you don't like Elton John, but you like his music, then and also in Hollywood is not deep state, right? Doesn't mean you can't still enjoy the entertainment, right? Or maybe it does. It's up to you, right? So the LifeWave X39 start with a flagship product. It's one of the ones that gives you minor aches, relief of minor aches and pains, healthier inflammatory response, natural wound healing, enhanced sports performance, improve mental clarity, improve skin appearance, provide energy and vitality, speed recovery from exercise, and of course, it basically transform your beautiful cells into much more beautiful cells. You can contact us if you want to learn more, right? And we also have a way that you can actually just go in and start ordering yourself. So join my team, click that little link. It's going to bring you over here, more information. You can learn more or join my team. Here's basically all the patches. And click on those. It gives you all the increased energy, anti-aging, anti-inflammation. And then, of course, the other cells themselves increase lean muscle mass, bone density, increase in stamina. Last year at 64, I was doing more in my leg press than I've ever done in my life. The most I had done was 5 years previous when I did a bodybuilding contest, just before a bodybuilding contest, and won it. And that was 1,000 pounds. So I did 1,125. Right, that's a huge jump. And we're going to see a lot of you when you start using these patches get amazing results like that as well. So join as a brand partner. You can come in, and of course it has the links to do that, and that'll get you in. All right. So very easy. And if you join us as a brand partner in Anaheim in October, you'll be able to see Elton John. Right. The ticket price for being at the event is going to give you very, very insightful information. One of the things we have coming out is a LifeWave water machine, which literally inserts light into your body. All right. So this is one of those things we talked about. Those machines that basically turn back, help you and so forth. This is it. So you have X39 and the other patches which are doing that. They're walking med beds, and then you're going to be drinking, light that gets into your body. So it's moving in the right direction. So this is the value and the beauty of LifeWave. And then in New York, we have Mam Danny. And oh yay, it's raining. So remember I told you guys I want you to pray for rain here in Lake Tahoe. We got it. Good job. Good job. You creators, you masters out there. I love you guys.
It was perfect because the mattress and all those things are gone. I
Mhm.
could imagine them being all on the
Yep.
perfect.
So, Ma'am Danny, let's play with that. Is the mayor Democrats won? All right. So did deserve that? Me up just they deserve cruel. It's too cruel if you live in a dark place like New York. So it's going downhill, and I guess they want it. So now there is talk that he's going to get deported. I don't know. Let's help these people before they become stupider. All right. The history of communism doesn't seem to affect the people of New York because they like it. They were helping to support the fall of Russia there in New York, and they're supporting Ukraine. Right. So it reminds me, Annie, get him. Maybe they're going to get him. Now, not to be outdone, in Minneapolis, they have also endorsed a Democrat socialist, Omar Fateh, over Mayor Jacob Frey. And this is, I guess, a guy from what's that? That country where they basically kill everybody. So Somalia. So he's a Somali, and I know a lot of Somalis have come over. They like it here in America because it's much better than Somalia, right? So, but I guess they don't change much, and we're going to find out the hard way that things are not going to get much better if these Democrats have their way. All right, guys, things are going to get pretty crazy out there, and some of these cities, I believe, with this disclosure that's happening right now. It's going to keep coming. At some point, Barack Obama and a lot of those guys get arrested, stand trial, whatever. I guess they're going to get arrested and get flown down to Guantanamo, however that works out. And then they'll have their trial. There was a couple of years ago that had Juan O'Savin on, and he talked about how they were upgrading all of the facilities down in Guantanamo, and how they had a court that could actually project the court proceedings. Right? They had movie cameras and all that kind of stuff set up. They built another court, so they had one court. I guess they got two courts now, and they'll be able to crank these guys out quick. Hang them, hang them, hang them, hang them, hang them, hang them, hang them. Right? It's going to be so much hanging, we're going to get tired of it. Like Trump said, we're going to win so much, we're going to get tired of it. No. If they deserve it, they get it. All right? Hang them high. All right? So it's not bad that we're going to take away evil, guys. And we have been talking about this for a long time, and now here it is. It's thank you, God. Right? Thank you, God. And please help this progress and make everybody safe that's involved. And please help the people that are consciously compromised, believing that these Babylonian horrors are for the good of America. They are not. And there's nothing good that they're going to do going forward. Sooner they're, tried, convicted, and executed, the better. All right. All right, guys. Now, I'm not a proponent of, doing legalese in the streets. We should let justice be done. How justice is done, whether it does happen, whether it doesn't happen, remains to be seen. We've seen these things drag on, lots of them. Let's hope that this time is different, and it's not one of those things where it gets disclosed and everybody just quietly lets it go, right? And nothing ever happens. I think that it does not happen, that we need to do are basically tactical civics, and we need to start trying them in our own counties and so forth. and then, push it up, or have somebody from higher courts come down and look at it. It's like, yep, we can take this higher. And that's what we need to do. So if they're not going to do it, we do it. All right. But we don't do it like hanging people from light poles. We do it on a tactical civics basis. If we need to put together, militias, then we put together militias. That might happen regardless, whether we do tactical civics or not. It could need to be happening with all you military experts out there if things get really out of hand in some of those cities. And they're very, very possible that it can and will, right? So heads up, stay in the love vibration, keep your connection to God, trust your intuition, follow your intuition, because don't you hate it when you go, I gotta listen to myself? You don't want to be caught in that type of situation if you're in a big city, right? All right, guys, lots of love, and I will see you guys next time.